Hey guys, this is Toby Younis of Garage Prospecting, and I wanted to share with you my latest project. And it's based on this Mighty Mill. Mighty Mill is an ore crusher, what they call a chain mill, because it has these shackles inside. There are three of them inside there. Mighty Mill is made by a gentleman who sells them on eBay. I will put a link to his eBay account down below, but he only accepts orders once a month, and I think they're in batches of 10, and then he can take up to a month to deliver them, sometimes as much as 45 days, because as I said, he creates each one of them by hand. He does all the work on his own, all the welding, all the drilling, all the threading, etc., all on his own. Now, the Mighty Mill, when I purchased it about 2 months ago, was $375. It has this spigot attachment that you can use to create a complete solution in terms of collecting the results of the crushing. And I used it, and I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. What drives the Mighty Mill is a standard 4.5-inch grinder. I have a Ryobi grinder that I was going to use, but one day I was in Harbor Freight, and Harbor Freight had this one on sale for $9.99. So I figured, what the heck. I've bolted it to a piece of 1x10 wood, and then I've clamped that 1x10, that piece of 110 wood down to my what I call my work table. All right, so let me show you the rest of what I've done. So I used the spigot that, and it's an extra, I think it was $55, and it's worth it. So you put the spigot on there. I attached it with this clear 1.5-inch hose to a connector that goes to this right here. And this right here is called a dust stopper. It fits on top of a 5-gallon can. It doesn't have any mechanical parts. What happens is the powder material, and the reason I know this is because I've used it both for woodworking and for sandblasting. The fine material comes out here, it spins around inside, ends up on the bottom, and it is driven by your shop vac. But none of the material, what ends up in the shop vac is the powdery stuff, the stuff that would otherwise be in the air. So, but the good material goes down to the bottom of the bucket because of the way it spins around. And again, you can get these at Home Depot. They used to sell for about $54, but I noticed that their price had been marked down to $39, and I don't know if that's their, if it's their, that they're not going to sell it anymore, they're discontinuing it, or they've got a better product coming out. But if you see one and it's the $39 price, I'd recommend you get it so that you can use it for exactly this. So I did go, so I have a Xeriscape yard outside. So I went outside and I got some rocks, and I'm going to set the camera up on a tripod, and we're going to take a little run, and then we'll look at the powder that ends up in the bucket. And we can tell because I'm working in my garage now, and if you see a lot of powder flying around the air in my garage, then this is not a good solution, but I think I believe it's a good solution. So let me take a quick break here. I will put this up on a tripod so that you can see all of it working, and we'll throw some rocks in there, okay? I've got to put some headgear. By the way, between that grinder, the smacking around of the shackles inside the Mighty Mill, and your shop vac, it is really noisy. So I'm going to recommend, that you put on some ear protection and some eye protection, and even maybe for those of you that don't have the ability to create a shop vac situation like this, you're going to want some breathing protection, because this produces, anytime you put rocks in a mill like this, it's going to produce silica dust. And if silica dust gets in your lungs, it can make a lot of problems for you. Okay, give me a minute to set up the tripod, and then we'll try and make a noisy run. I'm going to leave the audio on the camera. I'll probably have to turn it down because, like I said, it gets really noisy in here. Haven't had any complaints from the neighbor, but I've left my garage door closed when I do it. Okay? Let me try a break here. All right, here we go. I think I'm going to start by turning on the shop vac, and then I'll turn on the grinder, and it's going to get loud. I guess I could have done that without kicking the tripod. All right. Okay, first of all, it is amazingly loud. Make sure you use some ear protection. Secondly, even though, as you can see, we got 0 in the way of silica dust, every time you open this hood, it does spit out some small rocks. And so, again, I'm going to recommend you have some eye protection on as well. But I could see the powder coming out through here. It's actually kind of coated it on the inside. Now, if I wanted to, I could remove these 4 quick screws, allow me to remove it real quickly, and I could pour whatever's in the Mighty Mill back out into the 5-gallon container. But what I want to do now is I want to take another break for just a second, and I'm going to point the camera down into the 5-gallon container that's underneath the dust stopper, and we'll see what kind of results we produced from. That wasn't very much. It was about, I don't know, a third full of just some rocks from outside. Now, I do want you to know that I do have 2 pounds of ore from Colorado Gold Ore, genuine Colorado Gold Ore, coloradogoldore.com, and I'll be running that through here soon and taking it through the entire garage prospecting process once we do. So let's just see how we do. One recommendation is that the guys at Mighty Mill, the gentleman at Mighty Mill, recommends that you put pieces no larger than 1 inch in there. And I do have a couple of pieces that are larger than that in this bag, but I'll show you how we'll use a hammer, an electric hammer to break it up. Okay, so let me put you on hold again and let me get the bucket out. All right, let's see what we got here. So again, this just fits, this dust stopper just fits on top of a 5-gallon can. So that's all there is. Be careful when you open it because there will be some material up here on the top, but as you can see, there's no mechanical apparatus. It just, the vacuum cleaner, the shop vac, draws it through here and into the bottom of the bucket. And so we started with rocks. And what we have is a very fine powder. And if you play with it enough, of course, you're going to produce some of that silica dust that you've been trying to avoid this whole time. So it works very nicely. I would say that is finer than probably 60, maybe 100 mesh with higher meshes mixed in there, but it sure does its job. So anyway, the Mighty Mill on eBay. I'll put the link down there. And then if you guys have any questions, please ask and I'll address them as quickly as I can. Okay? But it works. It's loud, but it works.